Welcome back, Standard 6 learners, for our part B of our today's lesson. Today's lesson, I'm going to look at identifying interests and abilities. Identifying interests and abilities. And our guiding book today comes from the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 1 to 11, Exodus chapter 35, verse 30 to 35, and Matthew chapter 25, verse 14 to 30. I want you to write down these verses and you read them on your own. Now, when we talk of identifying interests and abilities, what do we mean? First, ability. Ability means the skills and intelligence that enables us to do different things. Ability means the skills and intelligence that enable us to do different things. When we talk of abilities, we cannot rule out the term interests. What are interests? Interest refers to the activities that we enjoy doing when we are free. The activities we enjoy doing when we are free. Some examples of interests that we can have are 1. Reading motivational books, riding bicycles, playing football, playing netball, playing volleyball, playing musical instruments, among many. Now, a talent. What is a talent? A talent refers to our ability to do something. A talent refers to our ability to do something. It is important to note that our interests help us to discover our abilities and talents. That's why I had to describe the term interest. For you to have a talent, you need to have an interest. So, it is important for you as a learner to note that our interests help us to discover our abilities and interests. Now, as Christians, we should use our gifts for the good of others. As Christians, we should use our gifts for the good of others. According to 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 1 to 11, the Bible tells us that the Spirit of God has given different gifts to different people. All gifts are to be used for the good of others. Now, we have the gifts of the Holy Spirit. Many people or many pupils confuse between the gifts of the Holy Spirit and the fruits of the Holy Spirit. Today we are looking at the gifts of the Holy Spirit. There are 9 gifts of the Holy Spirit. And again, there are 9 fruits of the Holy Spirit. And I want these two to be on your fingertips and don't confuse between the two. So when we talk about the gifts of the Holy Spirit, the 9 gifts of the Holy Spirit are prophecy, healing, speaking in tongues, interpreting tongues, discernment, faith, performing miracles, wisdom, and knowledge. In the book of Exodus, chapter 35, verse 30 to 35, the Bible talks about 2 people. We are told about Bezalel and Oholiab. Bezalel was the son to Uri from the tribe of Judah, while Oholiab was the son of Abimelech from the tribe of Dan. Now these 2 people, Or I can say, God gave them ability to do various artistic jobs. They made the sacred tent for the Ark of the Covenant. Then, in the parable of the three servants, and this one we find in Matthew chapter 25, verse 14 to 30. In the parable of the three servants in Matthew chapter 25, verse 14 to 30, as Christians, we learn that we should use our abilities and talents well. We should also use our talents and abilities to create wealth. If you look at our world today, people who are talented, people who are using their talents well, they are earning a lot of money because of their talents. Just look at in football. Just look like Cristiano Ronaldo. Look at Messi. They are earning much more than what the highest paid person in this country is being paid. So, grade C, class 6 learners, let's use our talents and abilities to create wealth. Thank you for this lesson. May God bless you. See you next week.